Hello everyone, this is Mr. Shalat. I'm going to go over today how to set up a vinyl sticker with your vector graphic that you've downloaded from the internet. As we went over in class, we used the website Seek Logo. There are other vector-based images sites out there. More than likely though, the brand or team or whatever it is you're looking for is going to be located here on Seek Logo. So let's get started. I'm going to go through a couple different types of logos today, show you the difference in different scenarios. There are a lot of steps. That's why this video was made, so you can pause and rewind and make sure your image is getting set up the way you need it to. Every image is going to be different. So as you can see all these images here in the background, they're all different. So the steps might have to be different depending on the image. Ultimately, how do you want your sticker or decal to look? All right, and I'm going to run through a couple scenarios here. Obviously, we're going to have those individual conversations about the images that you elect to choose. Okay, they're not all going to be super simple images. So I'm going to start off with something easy today. We're going to go with the basic Apple logo. All right, and when I search here on Seek Logo, you got to be careful because they do this where it says premium logos. These all here are ads. Okay, these are take you to a different website and they want you to pay money. All of the free logos are right below that. Okay, so any of these images here we can download. They're all going to be vector images, which allow us to stretch that image as big or as small as we want, and it will never get pixelated. Doesn't matter how large we make it. Okay, so I'm going to go with the basic Apple logo over here. When you're looking to download images, okay, a .ai file, which is Adobe Illustrator, that will work. Here you can see this is a very popular one. It's been downloaded 97,000 times, as opposed to all these other images are nowhere close. So that is the most popular Apple logo. And when you download it, you can change it. So if you don't want it gray, you want it blue, you want it red, you want it yellow, whatever color, we can swap those out, okay, very easily. The two types of images you want to download is a .ai file or a .eps. Okay, either of those two images will work. All right. Do not ever download an image that says CDR. You'll see down here CDR. These SVG images, those will not work. CDR is a Corel Draw file. We do not have that on the Apple side, so that is not something that we're going to be able to use. But the two types of images you're mainly going to find when you're dealing with vectors is either an Illustrator file or an EPS file. All right, so we're going to start off with the Illustrator Apple. All right, so when this loads up to download the image, there's a whole lot of ads and everything going on here. They'll show you a picture. Over here it tells you the file format. Got to make sure that's either AI or EPS, which it's AI. I download the vector, okay, and it's going to download our image in a couple seconds here. We'll let that save. All right, and it opened our image right up into Illustrator. If yours didn't, okay, you're going to want to go into your downloads, which is down here at the bottom. Okay, here's the Apple logo, and literally you just drag this Apple logo over top of Illustrator and it will open up in there. So if yours didn't open up automatically, that's what you're going to do. Okay, now when we're looking at Illustrator, you have a whole bunch of panels over here on the right. We're going to use several of them. I will refer to them as we need them. I'm not going to open them all. Okay, so at the top here, if I hit that double arrow, it opens up and brings up all the panels. I'm not going to have them all, it just clutters the screen. This way you can focus on what you need. All right, I'll call it out as I go. So when we look at our image here, we have the main part of the apple and we have the leaf at the top that's floating. All right, what we want to do is bring up our layers palette. So if I go to window and I choose layers, okay, they're all in alphabetical order here, okay, A to Z. So right in the middle, I'll go to layers. Here is my layer. I'm going to call this Apple. It's named something else. That's probably the person that made it. We're gonna we're gonna call it Apple. Excuse me. So with Apple, okay, I need to duplicate that layer. So you're gonna drag this layer over this blank piece of paper. So I drag that from here over that, and now I have a copy. I'm going to turn off the eyeball on the first one, and now I have this secondary copy. That's the one I'm going to work off of. All right. When I select this, I only want the outline of the image. okay? So if I highlight everything that I have, I want just the outline turned on. I don't need this whole fill color turned on, all right? So to turn the outline on, over here, my fill and my stroke, I'm going to reverse those so my fill is done and my stroke is now that gray color. So if I click off of here, you can see that light gray. Excuse me. So we're going to take these outlines and we're going to offset them. We need to make them larger. Right now, this is where the color of our sticker is going to end. We want to add a white outline that's going to run around the outside of our sticker. That's known as our cut contour line. So I'm going to highlight both of these, okay? And with them selected, I'm going to go up to Object, down the Path, and choose Offset Path. And then what happens, if I check Preview, we could see that it is taking my original path, which is on the inside here, and it is offsetting it a certain distance. Now, every image that you download is going to have different numbers, so you cannot use the same number for every image. So if you're watching this video, you can't just use the number that's here and expect it to work on your image. It's really up to who designed that particular vector graphic. So, that being said, I'm going to bump this up a little bit more. Okay, so I put my cursor there so it's blinking, and if I tap the up arrow, okay, you could see that that stroke outline gets bigger or smaller depending on how I bump my Apple keys. What you're trying to do is where the Apple leaf merges, okay, we want to eliminate that space. So right now there's a gap, okay, we want no gap. So I'm going to bump that up till the gap disappears, all right? Once I'm good, I press OK. All right, now I have two sets of outlines. I have the offset outline and our original outline. I want to merge all those outlines in just to the outer one. I don't need this line anymore, and I don't need the inner lines of these. Okay, they can all go away. So I will highlight the whole shape, and then under Window, I want to bring up called Pathfinder. Okay, I bring up Pathfinder. Now under Pathfinder, okay, there's all these buttons. You want to hit the top left-hand button here, which is Unite, which is going to combine all those lines and just leave that outer edge, okay? So if we look back at our layers palette, I have my apple and I have my apple copy. Apple copy, I'm going to call that my cut. That's going to be the edge of the sticker. So let's turn the eyeball back onto the apple and look at what's happening here. So we have our original apple, and if we wanted to change the color of this, obviously I could highlight it and then come in and I could choose my different color. If I wanted it red, okay, you can make it whatever you want. I'm just going to leave it the default gray, okay? And then this other line now, this is known as our cut contour line. That's where it's going to cut the sticker out. So we have to name that, okay? We have to name that. So in our swatches palette, top right-hand corner, you're going to hit this down arrow, okay? Let's see here. Let's get all this turned off, all right? And we need a new swatch. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to call this new swatch. And when you go to set this up, I'm going to set it up as a spot color, and I'm going to call this cut contour. Okay. Now, you can choose any color you want. You can make this color, okay, whatever color you desire. Okay, you can adjust these sliders here. You can make it RGB. You can make it CMYK. All right, so as you adjust these sliders, this is the color is going to be. But the important thing is you call it cut contour, and it's a spot color. So I press OK. And you'll notice over here in my swatches palette, I now have a new color to use. I need to change this outline to the cut contour. So now if we look at it, it's green. Okay, so now our rolling cutter is going to know that's what a cut needs to be. Okay, it's going to cut the vinyl at that specific spot on the sticker. Okay, now to finish this thing off, okay, our sticker should only be 4 inches. So if I highlight the whole sticker, okay, the max this thing should be 4 inches high. So I need to bring up my ruler so we know how big everything is going to be. You'll notice across the top of my screen here I do not have a ruler. If you hit Command R on your keyboard, it brings up your ruler. we want to make sure that ruler is displaying in inches. Okay, so to check, you would right click on it. Right now it's in millimeters. You're going to right click on it, choose inches. All right, now that we're in inches, we can see how big it is. Up here under transform at the top, okay, so I click on transform, and the overall width or the height needs to be 4 inches, whichever the larger number is. So since this particular image is taller than it is wider, you want to change the height to that 4-inch number, okay? So I'm going to check the chain so it changes both, but the height needs to be 4 inches. So I'll hit enter. It resizes my picture. Now this sticker is 4 inches high, right? Now that that's finished, I'm now going to draw a square around this or a rectangle, okay? So you want to draw this box as close as you can get it without actually touching it. You can make your adjustments after you draw it, okay? So we're going to draw the box up. At this point, it's going to cut the sticker and it's going to cut a box around the outside of the sticker. Now in class we talked about perforating a sticker. So we want that sticker to make sure that it gets cut around the box when it's finished. So to do that, first we want to highlight our line here and set that to 0.25, and you also want to set the line that goes around the outside of your sticker. Those both need to be 0.25. That's important, okay? And then once you have that, okay, you select the outer box. We're going to copy it, and we're going to paste it in place. So once I paste it in place, I now have that copied box pasted in the same exact spot, and I need to make a new color. So to make a new color, click on any one you want. Then you're going to choose top right hand corner, new swatch. Again, it's going to be a spot color. You're going to give it a name. The name of it is Perf Cut Contour. Spelling does matter. Capital P, capital C. Okay, on both of those, Perf Cut Contour. Make it whatever color you want. Press OK. All right. So that being said, our sticker's finished. Let's trim it up. So to trim this, okay, I'm going to highlight the whole thing. Then I'm going to go to Object, come down to Artboards, and I want to fit to the selected artwork. Okay? Or, sorry. Yeah, fit to selected art or fit to artwork bounds. Either way, I have it selected. It doesn't matter. Either of those two will work. Okay? And you'll notice it got rid of all that extra white space around it. And now the sticker is ready to go. To save this, you would save this to the desktop. File Save As. Make sure you choose Illustrator EPS. Okay, and I'm just going to call this Apple Logo. Okay, make sure it's going to the desktop. Hit Save. Ignore all this. Just press OK. And our EPS is ready to go. So here on our desktop, downsize all this. Okay, there is our transparent EPS logo. When we dump that into the other software to be able to print and cut this, it's going to be able to cut that sticker out as many times as we need to. The logo was pretty simple, all right? There's not a whole lot going on with that. I want to do another video. Stay tuned in the next one, where I'm going to go over a little bit more difficult of an image, okay? Where different scenarios where it's not as simple as a simple offset. Sometimes you might have an issue where it won't merge all of the paths together. So I need to go over how to do that next. But if you have a basic logo, those are pretty much the steps. Okay, you find it, you flatten it, you get the outline, you offset it, set up your cut marks, and you're good to go. All right, rewind this video as many times as you need to. Questions, let me know in class. Take care.